Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mending Threads. This is your safe place and your stronghold for whole body wellness. We're a mind, body, spirit transformation series, and we include you, and we have some special guests that are also welcoming you this morning. We have with us Mr. Cyrus Worrells, who is the director of programs at Institute for Spiritual Health. And just before the show, I said, welcome, because we are a match made in heaven. We are going to talk about something that's really interesting this morning. We're going to be talking about mind, body, spirit medicine. And as particularly as it relates to mental health and whole body wellness. And of course, you'll be able to see this show. You're probably seeing it live right now, and you'll also be able to see it on YouTube. And of course, it will air, and we hope that you'll stay with us on next week. It'll air at 7 p.m. Um, on this station. And we look forward to your constant participation. So, what I'm saying now is you can text me 281-381-2276, any comments that you have, and I will then respond to it, or Mr. Worrells will. So, welcome. Good morning, Mr. Worrells. How are you this morning?
I'm
Thank you
doing
for
well.
getting
Good
up
morning, Dr.
wherever you
Lewis.
are. I know you're not here this morning.
No, I'm not. I'm up here in Boston.
Yes, well, welcome,
It's
welcome. I know
beautiful
that.
and a nice, probably 65 degrees up here.
Oh, wow. And look, are you boating?
Am I boating?
Yes,
Not
are you?
this time. That was West Coast. Now we're up on the East Coast.
Okay, then. So, well, anyway, I'll just fantasize about this travel and what you're doing, and maybe next week I can get away myself some. Okay, then.
You
So I want to
deserve it.
say, yeah, I want to take a break right now, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing. So, we're talking about a topic that we've talked about often, mind, body, spirit, which that we then do most of our programs from that basis. Can we share with the audience a little bit about how you got into this and what you're currently doing? How did you get into this mind body medicine
Yeah, sure.
frame?
So, my organization, the Institute for Spirituality and Health, has been around since 1955, and we enhance well-being by exploring the relationship between spirituality and health. So that looks like a lot of different things. We do stuff within the healthcare community, but we also work out with the general public, working on public health initiatives. And we believe that humans are fundamentally spiritual. And so what we think, feel, and believe about the world impacts our health and well-being, and
Hmm.
vice versa. And so when Hurricane Harvey happened in 2017 and traumatized the community in so many different ways, we felt like we had to do something. And we thought, what is the particular role that the Institute for Spirituality and Health can play in the community? So, right about the same time, we heard from the Center for Mind Body Medicine. And CMBM is a world renowned program for community wide trauma healing. So they've done for the last 30 years programs all over the world in areas that have been affected by some kind of disaster, whether it's a natural disaster like Hurricane Harvey or a
Hmm.
civil conflict like they've worked with Israelis and Palestinians. They've worked in Haiti with the earthquake, in California with the wildfires, with veterans and firefighters after 9/11. So their program has worked well. And so when they came to us and wanted to do something in Houston, we figured, this is our opportunity to make a difference. And so we banded together with about 6 other local organizations and formed what we called the Greater Houston Healing Collaborative. And our local collaborative applied for some funding, and got funding through the Greater Houston Community Foundation to do a major training, a major mind body medicine training. And so, and then we followed it up with a training with Red Cross. And through those two major trainings, trained a team of about 120 local facilitators. And these people came from all walks of life: school teachers, counselors, faith leaders, students, mental health professionals, doctors, nurses. So we brought together this team and trained them in mind body medicine. And then they, in turn, went out into the community and started leading groups and workshops to help people recover.
Oh wow, this is really interesting. I know that we're doing some things like that with you, and we have done some things in mental health coaching, and this is going to be a great connection, especially with the work with trauma that was earlier set on around that time and a little bit before with the hospitals. So I'm hoping that we can regenerate that. So what populations do you think would benefit, and how can the body or the person, when we talk about mind, body, spirit, how does the person or individual actually benefit from mind, body medicine? In what ways? Mhm.
Well, your first question was like, who can benefit? And
Yes.
that's definitely everyone.
Yes.
Um, Trauma and stress come to all of us in various forms. We've all experienced stress of some types. Now, of course, some people have experienced deeper and greater trauma, and some communities experience higher rates of trauma. But everyone can benefit, because I think we often think of stress and emotions as something um, we just have to deal with. But stress, and particularly traumatic stress, um, such as what we experienced in Hurricane Harvey, impacts every aspect of our bodies. So
Mhm.
it disrupts our immune system, our cardiac and pulmonary health, our heart and lungs, our hormones, and our neurology and psychology. So,
Mhm.
um, so mind body medicine is a way of restoring balance to the body and
Mhm.
mind, because we as humans, just a little backdrop on the physiology, which I know you know some of it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we have a lot of the automatic processes that go on in the body are regulated by the autonomic nervous system. Basically just means automatic nervous system. So you don't have to think about beating your heart for your heart to beat. You don't have to think about breathing when you're not paying attention to it to breathe, and all sorts of other things. So it's this really important part of our bodies, and it has kind of two sides: the gas pedal, or the sympathetic nervous system, and the brake pedal, or the parasympathetic. And when we get stressed, we activate that gas pedal. But then,
Mhm.
especially if we've experienced a more serious stress or trauma, we hold that trauma in our minds. It sticks, and it holds that gas pedal down, and we ruminate on the trauma. We get triggered by other things that are happening. We think into the future about whether it's going to happen again, and so we get stuck in chronic.
Mhm.
And so mind body medicine is a way of coming in and using techniques that all of us can practice to bring that balance, to take our foot off the gas pedal, to slow down a
Mhm.
little bit, and restore balance. And I think it's vital. It's vital
Mhm.
for people who have experienced serious trauma, especially, but really for everyone.
And I think particularly, I like the way you describe it, particularly with cultures, particularly African American, disenfranchised communities, who actually the gas pedal has been down for hundreds of years, kind of explains why there's a disproportionate number of percentage of persons that are dying or health effects related to trauma and stress. You see, and so
Mhm.
then. what maybe we should look, what are some of the, when we're looking at those populations, how would we then, what are some ways that you've used to really get people to recognize, because there's so many myths, then there are fears, how do you get them to access or to recognize the importance of mind body medicine?
Well, there's a lot there. First of all, I think mind body medicine is therapeutic, but it's not therapy.
Yes.
And that's a big one because while it's lowering, I think, and the conversation around mental health is opening up as a society, I still think there's a big stigma around it, um, especially in communities that haven't had access to mental health resources. So the
Mhm.
African American community, other underserved communities haven't had the same access to mental health resources, and so there's still a stigma around um, working with mental health. But mind body medicine and the skills that we practice, um, they don't claim any kind of diagnosis or that anything is wrong or messed up about everyone. It assumes that people are perfect as they are, that everything is a normal response to stress and trauma, and it's really empowering. It's not about an expert coming in and fixing your problem. It's about you learning skills and discovering things about yourself and your own capacity to heal yourself and become well and thriving. And so in that way, I feel like it's more accessible. It's also, you can give someone an experience. So if we have time here, maybe we can I can lead a short soft belly meditation. And
Okay, I think we got time.
yeah, you want to go ahead and do that now?
Yes, yes, let's
All
do
right,
it.
let's do it.
Hmm.
So the fastest way to take that foot off the brake, off the gas pedal and slow down a little bit is through the breath. So you just want to sit comfortably. Don't have to be sitting in some special meditation pose, or you don't have to be perfectly upright. You could even be lying down, but just settle into sitting where you are. And you can close your eyes, but you don't have to. Let your shoulders relax. And notice the sensation of breathing. Notice the air flowing in and out. And bring your attention down into your belly. Notice how when you breathe in, the belly expands like a balloon. And when you breathe out, the belly and the whole body relaxes. If it's comfortable, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And let the belly be soft. We hold our bellies so tight for appearance. Let your belly be soft. And as you breathe in, you can say to yourself, soft. And as you breathe out, belly. Soft. belly. Let go of any effort and just let your belly, let your breath, let your whole body, let your whole being be soft. And of course, the mind will wander all over the place, thinking about this and that, this or that stressor, this thing you got to do, what you're going to have for breakfast or lunch, what you did yesterday, that thing you didn't say, what you're worried about. Each time the mind wanders away, you can just bring it back to that nice warm place of soft belly. When you breathe deeply in this way and expand the belly, you activate the vagus nerve. When you activate this nerve, it soothes those parts of the brain that are responsible for fear and judgment. And it starts to warm up those parts of the brain that help us think creatively, that help us see one another with more empathy and compassion. So take 3 more deep, soft belly breaths in this way. Couple more. And one more. You can let your eyes open. And notice how you feel. You notice anything, Dr. Lewis?
Yes, I like this. So, yes, I feel very much more relaxed. My eyes are fresher
Hmm.
and my breathing is more stable because I know in observing myself that most of the time we're really not really breathing, fully, unless we actually practice it. And to tell the truth, this past year during the study and the training that we did with mind body medicine, I really recognize that I have more purpose when I open my eyes and I realize that breathing, the breath of life, you begin to value and see and connect with more purpose, the spirit. You see, the
Hmm.
spiritual self. And so it gives it more meaning. So I'm really now beginning to help myself and other people recognize that and clear their minds, you see, from the trauma and whatever. So I know it works, but just then it was real good. Okay,
Hmm.
so good that I might not have wanted to come back for a minute.
Yeah.
I might want to stay there for a minute and don't let me find a massage person and whatever. I might just stay there for about 30 more minutes. So,
Well, fortunately, you don't need me to do it. So right after the show ends, you can just hop back in.
that's right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I do.
And another thing is, you know, you can practice the soft belly throughout life. That's a really important thing. You asked how do we get people to engage in mind body medicine. A big thing
Yes.
is it doesn't require, anywhere that you are, you can be practicing mind body medicine. You can do soft belly right before going on a show with Dr. Lewis.
Yes.
You can practice soft belly in an elevator. You can practice it, taking a walk, or at the dinner table when, someone's having some stressful conversation or triggering you by bringing up some topic um, that, it stresses you out to talk about. Soft belly breathing. It's right there all the time.
And there's so many things, one of the practices that we looked at was that it can bring you and keep you in the moment, instead of racing to the future. And that also decreases the amount of stress that you incorporate or bring into the body. So, at the same
Definitely. I
time,
have an example I like to give about stress for that, which is if you think about a gazelle like out on the open savanna, it's just hanging out. It's not stressed at all. It's eating the grass. Suddenly a lion comes, everything changes about the gazelle. You see it perk up. That's its gas pedal going on like that. The gazelle runs away, it gets away from the lion, and immediately it's back to eating the grass. It's back to break pedal, rest and digest. That's because it's in the present moment. But we think so much that we get stuck. We keep thinking about the lion that just happened or the future lion, and the breath bringing us back to presence is a way of, like the gazelle, going back to the moment
hmm
and eating the grass.
and even teaching them, I like that. So look, so even teaching them that you can, so the fear when working with many persons that I work with, the fear is being out of control. The fear is that something around you takes you out of control, like that example that you made, but that you could be more alert while you're not in control, if that makes any sense. Because now you can, when you're calm and relaxed, you can see and hear more dangers than in a than when you are in the future or the past. You see, like the gazelle. So now the gazelle, going back to paying attention and eating the grass, can now hear and recognize, because they're in the moment, things that they need to pay attention to while they're paying attention to themselves. So many people that I did soft belly breathing with, or before, they were afraid that if they lose awareness, that the environment would take them out of control because there was so much chaos around them. So
Mhm.
this was a way of helping them explain or express that truly you are more in control, even though you're fearful of being out of control. So it reduces your fear of losing control too. Okay, so that was a good one that you used. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's really insightful, and I mean it's something we all know, but we don't always know how to practice that. Um, that we can't always choose our surroundings or what happens to us, but we can choose how to respond.
Respond.
And
Mm-hmm.
these kind of practices, they help put us in a state where we are more aware and more conscious. And so, that thing that makes us angry, that we might say something, we might react in anger and then regret what we said later. um, or we might react out of fear and then wish we had stayed for whatever it is, wish we had been more present. These skills help us consciously choose how we want to act, and respond and treat other people. Uh, so and 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 that empowerment, studies have shown that when people feel like they have control and have the capacity to heal themselves, um, it has all these positive effects on the body and mind. Just
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you have the capacity um, to control how you respond, even if it's not the entire environment. Just feeling
Mm-hmm.
that you have the capacity to impact your own state of being is really empowering.
It is. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, that's a part of our motto. It's not the circumstances we meet; it is the manner in which we respond that determines our health, our happiness, and success. That's our little motto that we do, I love what you just said then because it fits right in with what we think and believe. So this is really good. So we have upcoming some trainings in the community that we're partnering about. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about some of the types of trainings that we have?
Yeah, so like I said, we've trained a large team of facilitators, and we've been trying to get some of them out offering groups, mind body skills groups. Basically, mind body medicine is experienced usually in two basic formats. You can do kind of a big workshop where we teach core skills like the soft belly and other skills. And then there's also the 8-week group, and that's more of like a intensive transformational experience. And those 10 people who are in the group become like a family, and
Mhm.
we practice not just like meditative skills like soft belly, but we do shaking and dancing, drawing skills, writing skills, a whole lot of different things to help bring up, talk about trauma, and begin to heal it and transform it. And so we're offering those kinds of groups. Well, really in connection with you and the Imani Faith Health Initiative's mental health coaching program,
Mhm.
um, bringing it to communities that we that probably haven't had access to these resources before. So,
Mhm.
I know we've got a group going for Real Life Christian Church and their recovery program. Um, we've got one coming up for Blue Ridge, and in collaboration with Trinity, um, and we have we have other offerings that our facilitators are starting up um, all the time. And so, for anybody that's out there that wants to start a group in your community, we have the facilitators and basically are ready and eager to partner with you and put together a mind body skills group or a self-care workshop for your community.
I want to encourage people to listen and go to wrc-houston.com and donate for a group. We will have a thing on there for training. It costs a lot to run the groups, and we really want to heal the trauma in our community. So we're going to have a special fundraising and partnering with the ISH, Institute for Spiritual Health, coming up this summer and fall. And the purpose is going to be to raise funds so that we can provide this training for our communities on a regular basis. So please go in and express your interest. And if you see, you can donate specially just to this fund. Okay, you can say that you want it targeted to mind, body, spirit medicine. And the other thing that we're going to do is your church may be able to partner with us to do fundraising for your specific church. And so we are setting up a particular spot on the website for our partnership to do this. So we look forward to that. And I do want to thank you, Mr. Worrells, for being with us. And I want to see what one thing would you like to leave us with this morning regarding our conversation or the need of the community or anything regarding mind body medicine?
I guess I want every person that's watching to know um, that they are perfect and beautiful just as they are. And beyond that, that all the emotions that you feel, any kind of stress that you've experienced, All of that matters, and that taking care of yourself is not a secondary thing. It's a priority. Self-care is the heart of healthcare. And the healthier you make yourself, the more you take care of yourself, the better person you'll be out in the world, and the healthier community we'll all become a part of. So take care of yourselves.
I want to thank you. And of course, we'll follow up with you this week to talk. And I know at least by Monday to talk about some new things that will be coming on that we can tap into. So thank you for being with us this morning. And I hope that we could have you back next month or at some time to follow up to look at some new things that we're doing together. So
Well,
thank you.
thank you, Dr. Lewis, for today, but also just for our ongoing partnership. It's a joy to know you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being with us. We're going to have with us this morning the second person on our show will be someone that we have worked tirelessly with in the community. And so I'm going to bring on with us our second guest, which is Miss Janelle Davis with Change Happens. Welcome, Miss Davis. How are you? Good morning.
I'm well. Good morning, Dr. Lewis. How are
Well,
you?
we're taping in the morning, but the show will be aired next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m.
Okay.
But so I'm just telling the audience that we are getting up early for you this morning so that they will know. Welcome this morning and thank you for being on the show this morning. I wanted to see, and our topic this morning is mind body medicine and resources that we bring to the community and particularly to families. And I know that you um, have been active in the community of Houston for many, many years. And I think I first met with Change Happens must be some back in 2000 um, when it was named something else.
Uh, yeah, it's been some decades.
Yes, it has. Time has gone on.
We changed the name since then, and now change happens.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right. And change does happen. So I was really, I'm impressed with your work with mentoring and particularly with families. And I was just wondering if you could share with us um, something about your role as a leader there at Change Happens. And then we can kind of talk a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, my role. First of all, let me say I've been with Change Happens for 20 years. Well, 20 plus years. Let's say, and so I've worked there in several capacities. Um, So my current role, I serve as the volunteer coordinator, and I serve as a case manager with our mentoring program.
Mm-hmm.
So with my leadership has really come from not being in management or anything per se, but just taking the initiative to get out there in the community and spread the word about Change Happens and the many good things that we do, the services we provide, um, and also making sure that people are aware of what we are doing in the community. And also, I've tried my best to take a lead in connecting with others, such as you, Dr. Lewis, and other partners that we have, and getting that word out. Sometimes, Dr. Lewis, you get so caught up in your role and your job and what you're doing that you don't often take time to say, wait, I'm working feverishly with these clients and services, but I need to get out there and spread the word so that others know what we're doing.
Yes, yes, yes. Hmm.
So
And that
that's
is so true. I
yeah,
know I'm guilty of that with your head down, just trying to achieve trying to get people healthy and well, and you really find that other people don't know all of what you do.
Do
See,
correct.
so that's it. So I really wanted to. I'm into the. One of the things that I recognize is that there's a need for, and over time, I've looked at intergenerational changes and transformations that are needed. And it seems that the research is showing, and I have over the years been aware that it's a high need to connect generations, the parents with the children and the grandparents. So I know we have a Saturday clinic that we're really feverishly working on connecting these generations. So I wanted to see from your years of experience and what you're doing as to what do you see as some of the needs for families right now, and what do you see as some of the trends? Hmm.
Okay, well, the needs for families right now is a need to kind of be restored. Um, with this past year and the pandemic, the needs have changed a great deal. Some of the basic needs are still there, but it's multiplied. Now, people have been through a lot this year, and many are having difficulties um, dealing with some of the things that they've been going through this past year, the isolation, the dealing with the kids are many of the kids are working from home. A lot of parents have lost their jobs, are in need and seeking employment. It's been a very, very stressful year. So I find with many of the families that I work with, for instance, um, in our mentoring program, their needs vary, but a common need is um, dealing with some of the stressful things that they've gone through. Even now, dealing with COVID and the vaccine,
Hmm.
um, is the issue for many, um, and also dealing with finances. Some of
Hmm.
the things, especially those who have lost a job and those who were already struggling with mental health issues. It's multiplied right now.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
the again the challenges vary
Hmm.
from one person to the other. But a common thing is some of the stress that they've endured. And now with things reopening, it's kind of stressful as to what to do, what not to do, getting back out there. Um, it's it's a struggle.
And I would imagine even making that transition, it's a difficult in balancing with limited resources. So now that you have to get back out there, there's also a fear that only a certain percentage of the people are immunized, assuming that that's going to be helpful, because we even find in the immunization said that you can still become ill with it. So the question that many of my families are asking, well, if you can still become ill with it and you got half the population that's not immunized, then what does that say about the health of the general population? And what is it going to say about my children in school? And what is it going to say about me going to work? And so all of those things. And so those answers, even though we're getting it, I'm finding the parents have a lot of stress around how to handle it with their particular families, and what they call pre-guilt, having to make a demand decision and feeling guilty and having to make the decision and
Right.
not knowing what to do, you
To
see,
do.
not knowing if it's the best decision as a parent. So
Yeah.
you're right on with that. That's right. So
And
one of the things that I know that you're helping people, I know you're having a program coming up real soon in June, I think it's June 3rd or so, and really trying to help families recognize, some of the things that they could do, but also how to handle it. Do you want to speak on that just a little bit?
Okay, well, um, to line up with May being Mental Health Month, um, we wanted to do something and engage our families in a conversation. We were looking to do it this month of May, but we are going to do it that very first week in June. So we wanted to engage our families in a conversation about mental health because sometimes, Dr. Lewis, even today, it's still a stigma. It's still a stigma to this day. So,
Mm-hmm.
I try to encourage families to look at it not with that stigma, that it's just like going to the doctor. If you have a physical ailment, you're going to go to the doctor. And the same thing
Mm-hmm.
with mental health. And I try to make sure that our families realize the importance, of taking care of your mental health. It's just as important to take care of your mental health, more so almost as your physical health. So, with this um, workshop that we're going to do in June, we're basically going to have a speaker just talk about the mental health issues and the stigma behind it and why it's important, and just get our families engaged in conversation. And
Mm-hmm.
also, we're going to talk to them about the importance of self-care. um,
Mm-hmm.
and like I like what the gentleman that you had on previously said, that self-care is crucial. Before you can help others, you have to first focus on self-care. So
Mm-hmm.
this this workshop that we're going to have on June 3rd is just a first in getting our families on,
Mm-hmm.
talking about it, getting information, learning what resources are out there. And we're going to have you come in, Dr. Lewis, because as a partner, we want all of our families to get connected with you, especially those who are suffering from trauma or mental health issues, or just
Mm-hmm.
basically need to learn better ways of coping and self care. So it's basically just to start the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
provide them with some information and additional resources, and connect them with those who can assist them.
I think you're right on, and I think in a comfortable environment, and began to see how important this is for parenting, but also how it is important when you say self care. Also, it means self love, and speaking to if we could just say myths and things that we believe that keeps us away from doing this. One of the things is that we're very religious people in general speaking, and whether or not we own it or not, or how we speak of it differently. And so sometimes when I'm working with people, they believe that um, if they believe in taking care of themselves, that they're being selfish, or that they are not practicing the Word of God, or that is something different. In other words, this is a sinful kind of thing. I remember one time at the Smith Library, I was teaching people how to breathe and do the breathing exercise that we had. And there was a lady who was a member of a church in Fifth Ward who was participating. And she approached me and she said, "This is really sinful to breathe. This is something against what God really wants us to do, and we cannot talk about the spiritual self, you know. So along with our bodies at the same time. And so some people believe and different things. And until we can address those myths, then the fears and the resistance to actually do self-care, engage in self-care in that way, and recognize that this is a part of what the Bible even teaches us in all of Ecclesiastes and other things. It teaches us about the faith and the belief in the soul and the spirit, and how the spirit is the work of God, and how we must then take care of the bodies and help connect with their spirit. So I think it's how we approach it and how we discuss it and how we integrate it when we're mentoring and when we're bringing families on to help them destroy the myths and let them expose and discuss their myths in a safe environment, and then have those persons around to discuss it from various different vantage points. Because I find
Exactly.
systematically, like you just said, this is so connected to the things that we believe, and a fear of us really practicing that. I even have parents say that if I stop and take care of myself, I'm not being a good parent. And
Mhm.
they can't see that you have to, they talk about in the airplane. Well, when you please breathe, when it drops down, you take the breath before you help your child or someone next to you. You really need
Yeah,
to do that first. You have to do that in order to be a better parent or a better wife or a better husband, etc.
exactly.
So in your mentoring program with the families, um, what kind of programming are you really planning or looking to help them incorporate what you really want to help move them forward?
Okay, well, with our mentoring programs, and the one that I specifically work with is called Mentoring Plus. The target, we actually target the youth. We enroll youth between the ages of 6 and 17. So our goal and target is to provide these youth with a mentor, one on one, where the mentor can be that source of guidance and somebody to talk to, somebody to motivate and encourage. So the focus is on the child, but as we know, it's difficult to help the child without assisting the family. So we've
Mhm.
always taken that holistic approach, and that we're going to help mom or dad or guardian, grandparent, whoever it is. We're going to not only provide um, structure and training and activities for the youth, but we're going to keep the parents engaged. We're going to keep the mentors and mentees engaged. So instead of just only providing the information and activities and training for our kids, our youth in the program, we're also going to provide assistance for their parents or guardians, where they can get information about mental health, about resources, how to best parenting skills, and all those other things that could assist them in being the best parent, and the children, the youth, also skills in helping them to, for instance, um, problem solve,
Mhm.
self-esteem and self-confidence,
Mhm. Mhm.
abstinence. These are just some of the topics that we're going to be engaging our youth with. Matter of fact, we're going to have a teen summit coming up on
Mhm.
June 5th, where we're going to have many topics um, that we're going to discuss with the kids, all sorts of topics to make them aware and help them grow the importance of education. We're going to talk about the importance of getting your education and higher learning. such as going to college, just different skills, life skills, basically.
Yes.
We're going
Yes.
to have a financial literacy component, not
Mm-hmm.
just for the parents, I mean, the youth, I'm sorry, but for the parents. And
Mm-hmm.
and again, these are some of the things we're going to connect with your program in helping the parents learn financial literacy,
Yes.
different things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Also, I didn't share with you that we're doing a Saturday clinic, but we're also working with, we're building out the youth. This Saturday coming up, and you may have some, we're going to have open mic for wellness, and they can come on and share things that they struggle with, the music, whatever they want to do, poetry or whatever. But we're doing a training on mind body for youth, because see, we have to connect intergenerations. And
Okay.
so we're going to do youth because that's also a way to close in the circle within the home. And so if you have anyone that's interested, just have them sign up with us, and or with you, and then we'll follow up with you on that, because we think that we'll be able
Awesome.
to. We need to do that. Yes. So I
Awesome.
think so. I think we're right on the right track for the community, so to speak. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you was, what have you found that families are asking for themselves? What have you found? Sometimes we think what the family needs based on our experience, through our observation, those kinds of things. What have you discovered? Well, either in your observation or through direct talking with them, what the families say that they need.
Basically, I'm finding with the families that I work with, they need support. Most of all, they need support. They need to know where to go, who to contact for any issues, whether it's rental assistance, utility assistance, whether it's mental health services, whether it's life coaching, whatever they need support and
Hmm.
guidance of
Hmm.
who can I contact, legal
Yes.
assistance,
Yes.
um, who can I contact,
Yes.
where, how do I go about it? So it's
Mhm.
mainly just that support and
Yes.
information and
Right.
providing them with resources to help, such as even vaccines right now. Where can I go to get the vaccine? You know,
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
how do I go about it? If information such as that.
Hmm. Hmm. You're right on. I did a survey. We did a door-to-door survey, street to street, and asking people, what is it that you need, not allowed? And so it's similar to what we found. And this is what they're really asking. And so we started the mental health coaching program to provide support for transformation and building, and to connect with their mentors, and to provide not only encouragement, but to provide the connection between change, you see, which is a little bit different. And so we're training. So I was encouraging you to support that and get people signed on. Maybe your mentors could become a part of that. And we're going to do a peer to peer on once a month or so, where they can come together and talk about issues of helping people in the community and those kinds of things. But you're right on in terms of helping people. Sometimes we talk about it and then we don't do anything about it. So we just
Mhm.
keep talking and talking. So one of the things is that we have offered challenges to churches in the community, and our goal is to bring on 20 additional churches within the, I call it, corridor of need. And it's from North Houston all the way to South Houston, Fifth Ward, Sunnyside, Third Ward, South Park, South Union, all the way down. And if we can actually, not that others don't, There are pockets throughout the city, but this is a corridor that we have assessed and determined earlier on to see if we can pull our church and our believers together and actively helping people around their church and to connect with key organizations like yours to be able to do that. And so that has been my ultimate, I've been asked and led to do this. And so I'm just trying to do my last years to make this happen. And that would be my legacy, I think, that I would like to leave is that believers would be connected. And it's called Locking Arms for whole body
Wonderful.
wellness. That's right. And so we're going to look forward to that. So I wanted to see some. You have so much insight, so much that you have done over the years, and with so many cultural groups that you've worked with. What would you say that you have learned or gained that you would take forward to the future in helping people or about yourself? And I hope I'm not asking too much
Oh,
for you to share.
no. I've learned in my experience that in helping people, you have to meet them where they are.
Hmm.
Um, you have to, I find personally, listening. Sometimes people really need to talk. They really need to vent and express. So, first, I try and listen to my clients and truly get a feel and an understanding of how they feel, what their fears are, what they need. And then I think too, you once you do that, you engage with them, um, you gain their trust, and you develop a rapport with them,
Hmm.
and you let them know that you're here to assist them, support them in any way, and if it's anything that I can't support you with, then I will point you to some resources.
Hmm.
So I would say it starts with listening, finding out what their needs are first.
Hmm.
Once you listen and even if they want to vent, just be that
Hmm.
that listens to them
Right. Yes.
and truly get to know them as a person and what they're and learn about, ask them, what do you need from us?
Yes.
What
Yes.
are some of
Yes.
your needs first
Yes.
of all? And I'll
Yes.
find when you start with that, then it falls into place.
That's right. Well, you're right on. You're just so right on. Thank you so much for being with us this morning and sharing some insights. And I'm going to look forward to, and I will talk with you this afternoon about different events. I want to thank the audience for being with us this morning or this evening, rather, and welcome back. So I wanted to let you know, renew beliefs, rebuild faith, and reconnect families and communities. For it is not the circumstances we meet, it is the manner in which we respond that determines health, happiness, and success. I do want to announce to please go to our website, wrc-houston.com, and I want you to sign up to become an active person in the community and let your footsteps speak to what you do and to take action. There will be whole body wellness training, and we will be adding to the training, and you will also become an internationally certified mental health coach. And it will be a culturally based, and you will learn to work with special populations, and we'll bring on these great trainers. And when you leave, you will know that you're addressing the community. You will have an opportunity to touch base with families in the community, find out what their needs are, and to do the work that you have been asked to do. So this is where we are. I want you to sign up on the website, and then we'll get you on. Also, there are 2 or 3 special things that I want you to think about. There's open mic day. We say open mic night, but it's daytime, 11:30 a.m. this coming Saturday. And so this is going to be exciting because you'll have a chance. It'll be intergenerational. We want grandparents, teens, youth to sign up. And it's just a free for come and sign up to do poetry, express your love, your frustrations, your whatever, and share stories. Okay, and that's what this Saturday is going to be about. Please sign up at least by Friday morning. You can sign up by calling me 281-381-2276, or you can sign up on the website. And I'll be sending out flyers on today to make sure that we all are there. And for listen what we got coming now. We have a relationship event. So if you're in a relationship and you want it to become more meaningful, if you are searching for a relationship, or whatever you want to know about it, listen to this. June 18th at 6 o'clock, we have one called Unload Before You Explode. How to find,
I like
how to
that
find,
title.
I know how to find and keep the love of your life. Okay, and so we have it coming from different vantage points. So go to our website again, sign up, and there will be a small donation of $25. That's just so that we can handle all the cost, and it will be a series. People have requested a series to look at it from different vantage point, but we will be on from 6 to 8. We will explore it. You can ask questions. You can text me at 281-381-2276, or you can email ips.health1@gmail.com. And you can ask questions, or you can say what it is you want us to cover, but we'll make it happen for you. So I want to thank you for being with us today. I want to thank Ms. Trinell Davis. I want to thank Mr. Cyrus Worlds. And I want to say that we're going to lock arms and bring it together for you. Thank you. Same time, same place next week. Have a great
Thank
day.
you, Dr. Lewis.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.